Welcome to Thoughts and Discourses on Digital Transformation. Dive into a world of insightful conversations and profound ideas. Join us as we explore the latest trends, challenges, and opportunities in the digital age. Stay tuned for engaging discussions and expert opinions that will inspire and inform.
Okay, welcome back to another version of Thoughts and Discourses, and I got some feedback regarding the X402 demo I did last time that wasn't very comprehensive, so I thought I'd do another version. And this time I built a website. It's called X402homepage.com. You can see it up here, so feel free to go to it. And what it is, it's really, I would say, an updated version of the $1 Million homepage. So I don't know if anybody remembers this homepage that was done. And what it was there was a guy that actually sold pixels, and I think he paid for his college and all that. And it was pretty interesting at the time, right? So if you were to go do that these days and you had access to the X402 protocol, what would you do? Well, what I thought is, okay, let me allow people to upload images and put it on, and I would charge per pixel. So let me go pick an example, right? So pick Target. This is on my domain. I can actually allow people to put in their URL. So of course I'll put target.com in here, and basically I'll charge per pixel. So if you go over here, you'll actually see all over, you can actually look at the coordinates and the price per pixel. So what I've done is I've charged per pixel. In this case, I'm charging really low. It's about 1,000 lamports. There's about, I think it's 1 billion lamports in a single sol. So this is 0.000001 sol. So here we go. What we can do now is we can actually drag my image over here, and oops, I forgot to connect the wallet. So you saw the error there, and so I'll connect my wallet. And I'm using Phantom here, and I'm using the Solana network, and I'll change it here. So we'll actually use the send account that I'm connecting it to. And so it pops up again. So I'm going to confirm that this is what's going to happen. And so I should be able to drag over here. Yep, and this is right URL. I want to pay it. And it's going to check the image content. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And it's going to ask me to approve the transaction. And look, it's looks like it's going to process it. And down here on the bottom right, you'll say transaction submitted, payment confirmed, upload an image, all of that kind of fun stuff. And the image has been placed successfully. I have a bug where it doesn't automatically show, so I have to do a refresh. And I've also added a couple of interesting pieces on the right hand side. So I've got my placements. These are the images I placed. I can browse all of the images, and of course I've got a leaderboard on here, right? So what I can, I'll look for another image. So we go look at this handsome fellow here. What I can do is if I try and drag it on top of another image, it will give me an error saying, hey, can't place image here. So I've added a rule that you can only place images on top of other images as if it fully covers it. So let's go and add it in here, and it's asking me for a website. So I'll go and put in my LinkedIn profile, for example. So there we go, and it's asking me to pay per pixel, and it's going to ask me to approve it. So here, confirm my transaction, all that good stuff. It's going to check the image again, and it's going to say, hey, upload the image. And again, because of that bug, I'm going to have to end up refreshing the page. But what we'll see here is that image will be placed, right? So that's great. I've got a couple of images on there, and see it's updated my placements. I've got other things, right? So what I can do is if I was actually to disconnect this wallet, and if I was to then go and reconnect it with a different wallet, and we'll see what that's like. So if we go here, and I'm going to pick my send to account. So that will connect a different wallet. And if I was to go upload another image, so if I was to go and pick an image, so for example, if I was to go pick this image, right, and drop it on top, right, you always get the issue. Oops, forgot to connect my wallet. So if I was to connect my wallet with this, right, so this is send to account. And if I was to try and drag it on top, you never get it 100% accurate. It's very hard. It says can't place image there because it doesn't fully cover. What I've added down here is I can now outbid people, right? So let's say here's my the image that matches over here. I can now do an outbid, and I can, you know, basically replace it with my image. So here I go. Interestingly enough, I'll keep it same URL, and it's going to charge me more, right? So I'm bidding one existing image, and it's basically saying, hey, I can go do that, but basically it bumps up the price by 0.000001 sol, which is about 1,000 lamports. So I'm going to pay more to basically get my image on my image, which I have to select. I'm going to put this with a red border on it on top of it. So here we go. It's now hopefully going to confirm the transaction. And transaction submitted. It's waiting for the confirmation. It's uploading the image, and if I do a quick refresh, we'll see it's replaced the image, and hopefully next couple of days I'll be able to fix this bug, so I'll automatically refresh. Now, one of the other things I've done with this is I've got you know, some checks to see the type of image, right? And here's an example. I've got an image that says violence, right? I want these images to be PC type images. So if I was to try and place this image, right, and basically it goes, hey, the image violates our content policy, and basically gives you an overview of the thing. So I won't be able to place this image on this. So this keeps this, you know, kind of safe and all of that. So I thought that was interesting. It shows where we can use 402, even as a simple example as placing images, and you know, it's just interesting with this. So feel free to give this a try. Right, how I built this was actually using Lovable, right? So here is the actual Lovable. One of the things that we start to do is, if you were to look at the publish, I can actually review security. So now what some of these vendors are starting to do is to integrate potential issues that you can address. And I left these out here. And so here's an error that they have, and basically it talks about, you know, the user wallet address is publicly exposed. There's a couple other warnings as well. And so that's some of the interesting things that these tools now are starting to do. And Lovable is a good example, where it's trying to show any potential vulnerabilities that you might have, and it's reasonably good with that. And of course, you can always go look at the code. I've connected this with GitHub, and so here is, you know, my source code here that it's got, and all of the fun code that you can then go through. You can decide, of course, if I wanted to, instead of using Lovable to deploy, I can decide, okay, I'm going to deploy it from GitHub using GitHub Actions to whatever environment I want versus Lovable. So that's some of the interesting things that you can start to see with the X402 protocol. Okay, and so that's it for this demo. Feel free to check it out, x402homepage.com. You need Solana, so you need a Solana wallet. Feel free to use it, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions on this. But I think it's an interesting demo. So next couple of weekends, what I'm going to be doing is actually, if you go back to this diagram here, right? I've just shown you the client and the server. I've got with this X402 homepage, it's got an integrated facilitator. I'm going to separate that out and build an independent facilitator, and start to do that, and then I'll be able to easily add in different payment methods, right? So one of the ways I want to do is, how do you buy pixels, for example, for pennies, right? So that's the goal over the next few weeks. So hopefully I'll get some time at the weekends to get this up and running. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or problems. I'm not guaranteeing that this website is free of bugs that you've already seen. It seems like I probably need to do a bit more testing on this. But anyway, give it a try. Let me know. Great job to Lovable to help fast track some of this. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.